Mother Teresa was the daughter of an Albanian businessman and politician. Yet at the age of 12, she knew she wanted to devote her life to the church. 6 years later, she entered the convent and launched nearly 70 years of service, which included a radical dedication to the poor. Many of those years were spent in the slums of Calcutta, India. But it wasn't until after her death that her letters revealed the darkness she faced for decades.
Sometime after she died, documents that had been kept by the Jesuits in reality were released to us as we began to do the process of her beatification. So in that way we began to find out the things that we had never known. Nobody in the congregation knew that for 50 years she passed through such darkness. She said it herself, I see it as a spiritual side of my life, entering into the suffering of the poor.
But despite the mental darkness and physical suffering she faced every day, Mother Teresa continued her humanitarian work with the poor. In 1979, this service earned her the Nobel Peace Prize. And in 1994, she was recognized as the keynote speaker at the National Prayer Breakfast for the President of the United States. In front of some of the world's most wealthy and powerful people, she used both addresses to not only urge the rich to care for the poor, but also to speak out against one of the most controversial issues of the time, abortion.
I feel that the greatest destroyer of peace today is abortion. And if we accept that a mother can kill even her own child, how can we tell other people not to kill one another?
Her devotion to the most vulnerable helped set Mother Teresa on one of the fastest tracks to sainthood in centuries. Less than 2 years after her death, Pope St. John Paul II started her beatification process, and she was canonized in 2016. 2 miracles were needed for her to be officially declared a saint. The first was the healing of a woman from India who had a severe tumor. The second was the case of Marcílio Andrino, a Brazilian man with a brain infection. Him and his wife had a strong devotion to Mother Teresa. 14 hours after falling into a coma, he miraculously awoke.
I felt a very great peace and no headaches. After I came to know that the moment when I had no more pain, doctors have done tests, and they saw that 70% of the infection was reduced.
After recounting his story of healing to the Vatican, Marcílio Andrino returned to attend Mother Teresa's canonization ceremony at St. Peter's Square.